Hello guys and welcome to episode 28 of Plum's Quest for Plum Lab series. Now episode 28 guys, wow, we're doing pretty well considering we're on episode 28. But what I want to get myself ready is this thing, the squeezer. So we're going to need 2 light engineering blocks, and you guys probably remember how to make the light engineering blocks. It is the simple thing with the, was it the iron plates I believe? Well, I can't believe I just made a big thing about how I remember how to make light engineering blocks, and I've forgotten how to make light engineering blocks. Derpy. So, light engineering blocks. So it's the iron mechanical components, iron ingots and the copper ingots. So the iron mechanical components for the iron plates, yes. Okay, why are you... Oh, we're not even looking at the thing. Derp. Derps just keep coming, guys. At least that isn't a derp on my part, though, where it keeps trying to put the book in place of the hammer. I'm not quite sure why it keeps doing that. It's a little bit of a problem. Are you... Why are you not working? Oh, I put them in the wrong places, didn't I? Okay, so that's the 2 light engineering blocks we've got to make the squeezer. What else are we going to need? So, with the light engineering blocks, we're going to need a piston and some steel fences. So the pistons are pretty easy to make. I believe we've already got one anyway, so I've not really got to worry about it. What else do we need to make? So we've got the piston, we've got the wooden barrels. So wooden barrels for immersive engineering. These just require a bunch of treated wood. So the treated wood, we don't have an awful lot of it. So what I'm going to do is go and get... I might make myself a couple of buckets actually. Just so I've not got to, you know, permanently do about 2 or 3 trips, like, per run. So if I do that, and that, there we go. That should last just, you know, a little bit of time. So if I put creosote oil, and you, and you, and you, there we go. And, oh, you're not going to, like, refill every time, are you? So I'm going to have to manually do this. Not the end of the world, I suppose. And it also required some slabs. I believe that should be enough slabs. And then the rest of it was that, I believe, and we need 4 of these guys. So 1. Oh. I really need to be able to keep putting these guys in here. Yes, there we go. So we now have enough stuff. So we now have... what's that? So we've now got the wooden barrels. The rest of an engineering block is pretty easy to make, I want to say. So, redstone engineering block. Yeah, pretty easy to make. So we now have one of those. I'll stick one of them back into the system, actually. So we now need some fluid pipes and some steel scaffolding. Now, the steel scaffolding... let's see how much steel stuff we've got. Are we going to have enough stuff to make it? We need 6 of it. So, I don't believe we have any spare... But we do have spare steel scaffolding, actually. So it was 6, right? Yeah. So now, and we also need the fluid pipes. So fluid pipes are simply just iron plates, which, as we know, is... Yep, I figured this guy'd go back in here. There we go, so I believe that's everything we need to make the industrial squeezer. Now, I believe he's probably going to require a source of power. I'm just trying to debate where to put this guy in the room. So I've got the coke oven over here, and I don't want him necessarily over here, because I feel like this is sort of an ore processing line. I'm almost starting to feel like this factory may have not been a big enough factory. So if I put this engineer's workbench down here, the squeezer, I'm almost tempted to say... Like, how big is this guy? I don't believe he's like an overly massive block. So he's 3... Oh, so he's just a straight 3x3. So technically, I mean, he'd be... Yeah, I think that'd be a bit cramped if I put him there. I almost feel like this guy should be... You know, actually, that's not the end of the world. I'm going to move this guy along. He's going to lose his creosote oil, which is a bit irritating. But I'm going to move this guy along to compact the room down just a little bit. I wasn't expecting us to need this many immersive engineering machines. I was just expecting, at least for now, just to have the crusher and stuff. But I suppose things happen, and we've got to sort of prepare for the unknown, I guess. So I believe if I stick this guy here. We might have enough room. In fact, actually, no, I've had another idea. I'm going to put him closer to the entrance, or at least the entrance for where I enter from, not like the main door. So if I pick up you, and I stick him here, I'm just thinking in terms of him having access to power, and making our lives just a little bit easier. There we go. So engineer's hammer. Did I feel like I've put him away again. Yeah, I'll probably put him away again, which is pretty irritating. Yep, I've put him away again like a complete moron. So you're now going to form. I can stick the coal back in you, and yep, you're going to work. So coal, coke. The only thing is that you're not actually... What I'm going to do is just quickly break him. This is more of a aesthetic thing. I'd rather him have the interface there. Just personal preference, really. So the squeezer. Now let's see how hard this guy is to make. So the squeezer is made by this steel scaffolding. In fact, slow down a little bit there. So light engineering block is going to be in one corner. So I'll build him facing towards us, I guess. So if I get my light engineering block and I stick him there, so the light engineering blocks stack upwards anyway, so that's not quite the end of the world. Then we have the steel scaffolding that kind of goes around it in a bit of a horseshoe kind of configuration, not like that, like that. Then there's the fluid pipe. Is there 2 lots of fluid pipe? Yeah, I believe there's 2 lots of fluid pipe here and here. It looks a little bit different in the diagram, but that's only because it's multi-blocked, I believe. So if I do that, the wooden barrels are then going to go here. Which I don't really believe they have much of a function on their own. Steel fence, did I? Completely miss over steel fence or something? Yeah, I did. I can't believe I looked and I was like, whoa. Trust me to miss one thing. And it had to be the steel fence. One thing that's, like, you know, crucial for the build. Not the end of the world, though, I suppose. I could just get this guy, and I believe it was that configuration, right? And then the piston. I don't know if the piston has to be directly looking down, but I'm kind of paranoid if he isn't, like, directly looking down, it'll break the build. So I'm going to do something pretty... You're not going to work, are you? Stupid thing. I haven't really got any... Okay. You're probably wondering why the hell am I digging up my floor. And it's... I just basically need to build this guy up. There we go. So that I can actually place the piston looking down. Because I'm not entirely sure if this is 100% necessary. But it's in the diagram where he's looking down. So I want to put him looking down. And if I keep whacking these blocks to try and get him to function. Yeah, there we go. Industrial squeezer. Now, you are going to require power, I take it. Yep, you require power. And I don't have any MV wire on me, so I could probably do with going to get myself some MV insulated wire. Which, what are we missing? Oh, we're missing the creosote oil bucket. Oh, that's going to be a pain. I think we got rid of our creosote oil, didn't we, when we did the coal coke oven? Oh, I shouldn't have been so wasteful with that. Yeah, we're going to have to wait for some creosote oil to form. So I think what I'm going to do is sleep through the night. I believe you've just created some creosote oil anyway. Let's go sleep through the night, guys. Okay, guys, slept through the night. And... are you going to work now? Yes! Insulated MV cable. So this guy, I believe, receives his power from the top by the looks of things. So I'll stick an MV wire connector on. And let's get this guy connected to the relay. And he's now working with power. So, he needs a lever. I know it's not, like, entirely necessary, but I don't know. I just find one thing that it's like if it's controllable by a lever, why not have that functionality? Just like I said, just in case you need it, really. So what we were trying to make is the electrodes, wasn't it? So the electrodes are produced by this stuff. So it's hop. If I just put in hop, I'll probably find it. Yeah, here we go. So the squeeze, you need the coke dust. I believe you don't need anything else, really. So if I go get this coal coke, and could I not? This would be kind of cool, I suppose. I could have put it, stick it straight in the crusher, couldn't I? I mean, it's just going to spit it straight out, presumably. But I can just transfer it straight over, rather than having to transfer between my normal base and this base. I can't wait till we get this arc smelter going. I mean, this guy's going to be absolutely crazy fast at smelting stuff. So we have 8 of this stuff. Are you now going to work? You seem to be going pretty quick, actually, so... Wow, really? 8 goes into 1? What? And the electrode is produced in the workbench when you have 4 ingots. I can't smelt them yet because I haven't even got the smelter operational yet. So I'm going to have to smelt those back at my base. Now, I don't believe we actually have enough coal coke to make this work, if I'm honest. So I think what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to let this guy run for a little bit, and I'll be right back. Okay, guys, so honestly, a fair bit of time has basically passed sort of between segments. I've just been sort of letting my computer run and let the coal coke get produced. So what I'm going to do is just transfer the rest of what I've got in here, and hopefully we should have enough very soon. So we've now got 7 of this. Dust, which is going to need to be smelted, obviously. I'm just basically waiting for this crusher to finish. I'm hoping we have enough. Like I said, I just basically left it running for about, I don't know, about 15-20 minutes maybe. Just in the background while I went and did some other stuff. And hopefully we should now have enough stuff to make... I hope we don't have any other uses for coal coke, because I think we are just basically turning it all into dust. And once it's in that crusher, there's not really a way to turn back. So if I stick you in... the smelter. So I don't know if we necessarily need 3 electrodes. I'm hoping I could just get by with 2 for now, since like I said, they're pretty expensive. Like, unless we get another coal coke or another coke oven, which I suppose is a possibility, I guess. So we need the hot graphite ingots. It's going to be a pretty slow process in terms of getting coal coke. So if I get... Yeah, we basically, like I said, we just had like 3 spare, so... Now if I take you over to here, and can I... I'm not really familiar with how the engineer's workbench works. Is that an engineer's... Yeah, this is definitely an engineer's workbench. Why are you not working? Okay guys, from what I can tell, by the looks of things, you need these things called engineer's blueprints. Now, the engineer's blueprint we need... does it tell us specifically the one we need? So if I go into here and I go to Engineer's Workbench, so we need the arc furnace electrodes. So will it show us how to specifically make one for the electrodes? Is that the thing? So engineers, silver cartridges. Where would I find it? Okay, so I've just done a little bit more research off camera, and I believe we need some kind of blueprint. Now, the ones that I don't believe is actually craftable. A bit of... Yes! So if I'm honest... I think I found one of these. I think off camera. I think I was doing a bit of hunting in dungeons and stuff. I think I managed to find one. So if I'm honest, got myself an graphite electrode blueprint. So hopefully, if I stick these guys in here, we should now be able to make some graphite electrodes. Now these guys should be able to go into here. And do we need? So yeah, by the looks of it, you don't need all 3 to get this to work. And yeah, by the looks of it, this guy is actually smelting that pulverized tin. I'm not quite sure. So something's definitely happening now, I believe. So if I like take this stuff out, I believe it's working. Maybe it's just a slow operation to start with. I'm not sure. But yeah, I think what I'm gonna do, guys, is try and figure out how this arc smelter works. So I think what I'm gonna do, guys, is I'm gonna let this guy run a little bit, and I'll be right back. Okay, guys. So I've done a little bit of research again on how to automate this guy, and I think I basically have this guy kind of nailed down in terms of automation. At least with conveyor belts anyway, that's basically the system I want to kind of go by. So do I have any more of the cobblestone bricks? I could probably do and make myself some more actually. I think I've got a little bit of spare this stuff. See, let's get the old chisel out and let's chisel up a little bit more of this I might not even need it. I'll bring it just in case, but I'm determined I might be able to get this guy to run without it. So presumably everything that's going to come out of here is going to be smelted basically, because it's just going to be purely for ore processing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have this guy run. I don't really want to. I think this is his output, so I don't really want him to kind of interfere too much with this. Although I could technically just have it, you know, just sort of input into a chest. So I suppose it may not be the end of the world. But what I am going to do is run this guy around like this. I may need some more conveyor belts. In fact, I am definitely going to go make myself some more. I might even need some more vertical ones, actually. Okay, I believe... What have we run out of? Oh, there we go. But I am definitely going to make myself... You know, I might just make myself a stack of conveyor belts, actually. Just you know, to have enough conveyor belts to make this guy work. So, what I'm going to do is have this guy run... I'm almost tempted to have him run as like a bit of a double system kind of thing. So, actually, you know, nah. I think I'll just have it run singly, because I think basically I've discovered this guy inputs directly from the top, which I believe we may be able to use to our advantage. So if I have this guy run like this, and I collect these vertical ones, and I run... Can I run vertical conveyor belts up this guy? Are you going to let me? Okay, you appear to be letting me run vertical conveyor belts up, which is good. I could potentially do the same thing with a crusher, actually, rather than having to do that stupid thing I've got. Although, I believe with that I do kind of need to, because it needs to kind of overhang and do that thing. So, let's see. So if I get another vertical conveyor belt... I'm not sure we necessarily need one, actually. If I run you up to there... Because I think this guy, I'm trying to think where he inputs from. I believe he basically inputs from one of these top slots. So if I run this guy, so I'm not entirely sure. This is just basically from what I saw online that I'm basically going off of. If I run another vertical conveyor belt up, are you going to work? Or are you not going to work? Maybe you're not going to work. So I think what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to try and figure this out and I'll be right back. Okay, guys, so a little bit more research, and I'm pretty sure we've got everything working. So if I'm honest, it basically flows up and it goes into there. So this is basically the block you have to pipe it into. I was trying to get it to go into the top of the block. And I was like, why the hell is this guy not working? And I realised, oh, I derped quite badly. But I believe now we are pretty much underway in terms of this guy working. All I need to do now is basically automate the stuff coming back to us. So what I'm tempted to do first of all, though, is make myself a chest. And then potentially upgrade that to an iron chest. Do we really have any iron? Okay, the chest will do. Because I know one thing with this guy is it does produce some slag. And I've also had to put another electrode in. I just basically had to sit around and wait for another one of those guys to be produced. As if I'm honest, he wasn't really working without it. So I believe this guy said it just outputs to adjacent inventory. So any slag that's produced will just go straight into there. But one thing I'd quite like to demonstrate though is if I, for example, chuck all my iron and more iron and this sort of stuff on here, I'm hoping this guy should work and I should hopefully keep it with a backlog. Obviously, this isn't going to be a practical system in terms of this isn't going to happen all the time. But I can see irons go into the first slot. It doesn't automatically distribute itself, which is probably a good thing though, because I mean, look at how quick it goes. But the problem is, he's eating quite a lot of power. I think there is a way to fix that, and it's to connect more of these power outlets to it. So we're not using that much RF in all fairness. So I probably could do again myself some more MV connectors. They're pretty cheap. Are we out of terracotta? Yeah, we're out of terracotta, and I believe all it is just smelted clay anyway. So it's not quite the end of the world. Why did I put it back into my system? I'm a moron. Ooh, one thing I have as well, I've also left my reactor running like a complete moron as well. I think just to use up a bit of this power. I can't believe that, guys. How much fuel have we managed to burn through doing that? Wow, we've managed to burn through quite a bit of that fuel. Not that we don't have a surplus of it, but that was a pretty stupid move on my part, leaving the reactor running. I'm not even having the quarry to come and, help us out in terms of using the power anyways. So I'm probably going to turn it off. I just wanted to burn through a bit of that initial power. So now I should be able to make some of those MV connectors. We have some MV wire anyways. Let's get back over to our factory. And hopefully we should be able to do this. So, I don't think just connecting them all back to back is going to be a very good solution. So if I connect you up to there, can I connect you to there and you to there? And hopefully this guy should be getting a bit more power. At least I'm hoping anyways. And I think here, what the best solution is probably going to be to do is to get some conveyor belts facing this way and probably then output into a chest of some kind, which I'll probably then just import back into my system. So, whoa, that's all of our items coming out. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick them into this chest. And this chest here is going to be like a direct output chest. So, you guys, yeah. So, all the ingots and stuff are now going to go into here. And this is just purely going to be a temporary system. So, obviously, any ingots and stuff that go into here are just going to get put into there. Like I said, there's not normally going to be this much of a backlog, so we're not going to have to worry too much about all this power. But it is purely due to the fact that we're using MV connectors that's causing the problem. But yeah, look, I think if I look at the line now, I believe it's because we've got the crusher on the line. So I could potentially run 2 different lines if I really wanted to, boost power efficiency, but I don't think it's going to be too much of an issue. So all starting to come again. So I think we're getting close to the wrapping up point for the episode. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you guys the ore processing system. So obviously ore's coming here, it gets dropped onto the conveyor belt, goes into the crusher, the dusts then come round here, get deposited into the arc furnace, and then get smelted up, and at the minute they're just getting put into here, but I will have them being sent over to my system back home very shortly. In fact, I might do that in the next episode. So thank you for watching, guys, hope you've enjoyed, goodbye from Plum.
Built an empire.